Yo, what is up everybody, and welcome back to another Madden 15 online game. Today we have the New England Patriots and the Detroit Lions, and if you like star power, this is the game for you. This is a Week 12 matchup that's going on in the NFL between two of the better teams. Of course, you got Tom Brady, you got Megatron Calvin Johnson coming up that catch, Revis trying to prevent Megatron from getting those catches, you got Ndamukong Suh trying to shut down the team that ran for over 200 yards last week, Matt Stafford, see what he could do with Golden Tate and all those guys, Reggie Bush is playing, you got him, so, you like those names. And one name I like right now is Revis, as Revis comes up with the pick there. As far as the game itself, this could be another game where it's like, hey, someone could test the Patriots, someone might be able to take down the Patriots, or it could just be another game where the Patriots just like, who wants next? We just took down the Colts, we just took down the Broncos, who wants to get blown out next? It can easily be that game, man, because the Lions on the road against a good team, I think the record isn't too good, man. I don't think Stafford's actually ever won against a team that ended the season on a winning record on the road. I saw that somewhere, and the Patriots are going to end up with a winning record. So if the trend goes the way, it's been going, I take Patriots in that game, man. I just take Patriots. I think they got a lot going for them right now. They got a healthy Gronk. You saw we hit Gronk up right there. They got a defense that's playing okay, not great, but okay. They're forcing turnovers, which is always good. And, of course, the run game. The run game might not be that dependable with Sue and all those guys up in the middle there, and Ansah, whoever it may be. But, I still would take the Patriots to win. I'm going to go over some other Week 12 NFL stuff as well, like the Browns and Falcons, where I actually have the Falcons winning that game. I know a lot of people are thinking, Browns are just getting back Josh Gordon. The Falcons playing the worst division in the NFL. Maybe in the worst division in NFL history. But the Falcons got to beat someone in the NFC South sometime, right? I mean, they're not good, but they're okay sometimes. In the Georgia Dome, they got that home crowd on their side. And Matt Ryan still got Julio and Roddy to throw to, even though Roddy's not really having a great year. I don't know. I think the Falcons can pull off the game. And, of course, even though Josh Gordon's coming back, doesn't mean the chemistry is going to be in sync. Because Gordon hasn't played with Hoyer in over a year. That was when before Hoyer tore his ACL in that Thursday night game. That was like week 7 or something like that. So, I just think the Falcons end up winning that game. And even though the Browns, they got to come off that loss last week against the Texans, I don't know. I just don't see it, man. I'm going to wait and see approach with these Browns, man. Because their wins haven't exactly come against great competition. Besides that one win against the Steelers, which, I mean, shitty teams have beaten the Steelers a lot this year. The Titans almost did it. As you see, this dude Vereen getting a touchdown here. We got Vereen in the game because Vereen was the starting back when I started, so I didn't feel like changing it up. Or else I probably would have played with Jonas Gray or even Blunt if he was in there. But yeah, I got Falcons. Next up, Bucks and Bears. That game's kind of a toss-up, just like most Bears games against not that good opponents. And if the dudes like McCoy and Levante David, they could shut down Matt Forte, that game becomes interesting. If not, I think it could be a pretty easy Bears victory. Not easy as in blowout, but I think they come through with that win. Otherwise, if they could shut down Forte and force Jay Cutler to actually make more than one read, game's interesting, man, because Mike Evans is balling out right now. And, of course, this is Josh McCown playing against the Bears, who he played really well with last week. With this is Josh McCown's kind of thing. Play with two tall receivers. But, what do you call Alshon Jeffrey and Vincent, or Alshon Jeffrey and Brandon Marshall? Now he has Vincent Jackson and Mike Evans, and I don't know, might be clicking for the Bucks, but I still got Bears in that game. Bengals and Texans. I got the Bengals, and even though the Texans, they beat the Browns last week, I just don't think, that game plan they had with Mallett starting, I don't think that's going to work against the Browns. So unless they step it up a little bit, I got the Bengals winning, even though it's Andy Dalton going against J.J. Watt and even Jadeveon Clowney too. I think he's back. I think the Bengals still can do just enough. But you see, this drive, we're trying to get some points before half. How about 7? And now it's just a straight-up Gronk drive right there. We just gave him the Gronk. I was going to go with the wide receiver screen, try to get field goal range, but I put Gronk on a streak. I'm like, Gronk, you get open, I'm throwing it to you. And Gronk got more open than I thought he would. And then the safety took a terrible angle and allowed it to be a touchdown. So that was pretty terrific for us. But, yeah, I got Bengals in that game. And I think they could do just enough to win it out there. And I'm not even sure if Foster is playing again. Anyways, Packers and Vikings, you see all the picks up there. I got the Packers to win that game, even though Packers on the road has been kind of suspect this season. Eventually they got to play a pretty decent road game, right? And I think that game against the Vikings is going to be it. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think the Vikings can stay in the game. But right now, I mean, there is nobody you want to have at quarterback, maybe besides Tom Brady right now, than Aaron Rodgers, because Rodgers is just lighting up the NFL. It was just, that one hamstring injury against New Orleans. Other than that, It's just been Aaron Rodgers versus everybody else is unbeatable. But you know, that game against New Orleans was the last road game they played and they lost. So we got to watch that game, man, because they lose that game, then all of a sudden it becomes you want to play the Packers, you know, on the road in the playoffs because you can be happy. You don't want to play Rodgers and Lambeau, but anywhere else, who knows? So we'll see what happens, but I do think the Packers win that game. Jags and Colts, not really too much to talk about there. Colts win that game. Colts are pretty lucky they play against a pretty trash division for the past 2 or 3 years because they haven't beaten the good teams, and especially now that Mob Brash is out, they haven't had a run game before that, and they're definitely not going to have a run game now. I don't know. Colts in the playoffs doesn't really... I like to bet against the Colts in the playoffs, put it that way, you know. Anyways, Titans and Eagles, I actually have the Titans winning that game, man. I actually have the Titans winning that game, as this dude makes it a one-possession game. I threw that pick there trying to force it to get a first down, and then he ends up getting the touchdown there in a nice run by Reggie Bush, and now this game's getting a little bit interesting out here. So we got to try to make sure we get some points in this drive. But yeah, I actually have Titans, man. I just, you know... The Titans, they played, you know, they almost pulled off the upset, and you think, all right, they almost pulled off the upset. That means they're due for a downer this week. They're due to get, like, whooped by the Eagles. Or they can come back and beat the Eagles, man. They got some pretty decent pieces on that team. You talk about Kendall Wright. You talk about McCourty and what you call Jarrell Casey and stuff like that. They got some good pieces, and if Mettenberg can avoid turning the ball over, it's not that the Eagles' defense is that great, you know. The Eagles' defense isn't great, neither is the Eagles. If he can avoid the mistakes, I'm taking the Titans, man. You know, obviously the Eagles' ground game hasn't been too great this season. Sanchez is in the game, and I don't know, man. I think we're due for a game where Sanchez just completely blows it. Completely, like, shits the bed in the fourth quarter. I think this is it, man. So we'll see what's up with that. And, I mean, I could be easily wrong, but we'll see what's up. You see Reggie Bush trying to put the team on his back. We got that touchdown. That one-handed catch by Gronk propelled us downfield. In this game, he's pretty much being beaten by Gronk on offense right now. A little bit of Vereen, mostly Gronk, though. As you see Reggie Bush. I'm just being beaten by Bush right now. Bush is breaking off all sorts of moves on me. But, yeah, Rams and Chargers. I got the Chargers in that game, but I'm not going to be surprised at all if the Rams win. All the signs actually point to a Rams victory because you got the Chargers defense banged up and playing horrific just like last year now before they got hot. You got Phillip Rivers is injured. He's got some injuries. See, 4th and goal, he's not able to convert. That was pretty much for the game right there. And then, of course, the Rams, they just straight up dismantled the Broncos. It could have been a lot worse had they actually gotten some touchdowns rather than 5 field goals. But, you know, all the signs point to the Rams. I'm going to take the Chargers anyways, because I feel like too many signs point to the Rams, man, that the Chargers can actually pull this game out and do just enough to win the game. And, you know, Sean Hill might just do just not enough to win. You see, that was pretty much the game for him again. They tried to get a stop, and he couldn't. And we just continued to feed him Gronk, man. Just continue to feed your opponent Gronk. You do I. Seahawks and Cardinals. I'm done with the Seahawks, man. I don't care if they're playing in Seattle. I am done with them. Their offense stinks. And against the Cardinals defense, nah. Even though Drew Stanton against the Seahawks defense doesn't really make me like much confident either, but just give me the Cardinals in that game, man. Cardinals just win, and against the Seahawks, I don't know, man. I just don't feel good about that Seahawks offense. If it's not Marshawn, if they can't run for 350 yards with Marshawn, it's nobody. So I'm taking the Cardinals in that game. Jets and Bills, I have the Jets pulling off the upset in that game, and in Detroit, I think they could win that game. I think the Bills are a little bit thrown off right now, and the Jets are not playing too bad. I think the Jets get that win there. And Redskins and Niners, I got the Redskins in that game. I think not the Redskins, the Niners in that game. Just there's too much turmoil going on in Washington to pick the Redskins. And then Ravens and Saints. I got the Ravens in that game. I'm not even sure it's going to be a close game, man. Drew Brees and those Saints just don't look good right now. And the last 2 games, Dolphins and Broncos and Cowboys and Giants, I'll go over in separate videos. So, yeah, I hope you guys leave a like in the video if you enjoyed this. Subscribe for more Madden 15 online games. And I'll catch you guys next time.